Good morning, one and all. In this lecture, we are going to the Shannon source coding theorem. Previous lecture, we have discussed about the mini source coding as well as the just introduction of the Shannon source coding theorem. In this lecture, we are more detailed to the Shannon source coding theorem and Shannon source coding algorithm. In day-to-day life, we are touch with digital communication. How the physical information can be represented in the very efficient manner in digital format. So how can we achieve a analog information, analog source in the form of their probabilities, appearance of the symbol, how they will be represented in very efficient manner. So in digital representation is very most important challenging in digital communication. So in this lecture we have two objectives. There is efficient representation of a data of a discrete source, and second one, how this efficient data representation in the form of binary with efficient way. Efficient way can be measured in terms of the coding efficiency. So one of the most important problem in digital communication is efficient representation of the data which is generated by the discrete memoryless source. The process by which the efficient representation is achieved by the method or process, that process is called as source coding or technique, source coding technique, and device and instrument which perform this process is called as a source encoder. In order to make a source encoder more efficient, we need some statistic source, means some mathematical information, how this source encoder will be more efficient. So that can be defined in terms of the average code word length and the coding efficiency. That means the source symbol which have higher probability should be assigned with shorter code. The symbol in a given source which having very large probability, we assign binary signal, binary representation in code word format with very less code, means very short code words. We can represent in very short code words. We can understand with the example in better way. Whereas the source symbol with lower probability of occurrence should be transmitted with a longer code words. So in source symbol, where the probability of occurrence of that symbol is lower, that can be represented or should be transmitted with the longer code words in the form of binary. Such source code is called as a variable length. So this statement, Shannon source coding theorem, we represent a static source into binary format with the method that is called as a Shannon-Fano coding algorithm. In two terms, first one is a variable length code. So what are the requirements for the efficient way represent a source encoder to the coding? An efficient source encoder satisfies the following two requirements. First, a code which is to be produced uniquely decodable. A code which is produced by the encoder should be in binary format, that is the first requirement. And second requirement, the source encoder should be uniquely decodable, so as the reconstruct the original source sequence perfectly from the encoded binary sequence. So first requirement, the code which is produced by the source encoder, should be in binary form, means 0 and 1s. And source encoder, the code which is produced, which is in uniquely decodable, so that in receiver side it should can be reconstructed in the original source sequence which is generated at the binary sequence at the encoder side. So this is the second requirement. Consider here a block diagram, a discrete memoryless source which has no memory, that is called as DMS, which generate a discrete memoryless source, that is SK symbols SK, and source encoder, that is binary source. The binary sequence which will be in the form of source encoder will be generated. A discrete memoryless source can be mapped into binary sequence in the 0 and 1s. So the average code word length that is given in the form of capital L summation k equal to 1 m pk into length of the message mk bits, where we can represent average code word length equal to summation k equal to 1 up to m pk, where pk is the probability of source symbol of k message, and lk is the length of the message bit in source symbol, that is lk. So average code word length is the summation k equal to 1 up to m pk into lk. So this parameter L represent the average number of bits per source symbol used to process the source input. So L is the average code word length. How many bits are required to represent a one symbol in a source? So that can be calculated by the L. Let L minimum to denote the minimum possible value. So how the efficiency will be measured, how the source coder will be efficient, that can be measured in terms of the efficiency. So source coding efficiency of the source encoder can be defined as, that is denoted by letter this eta L minimum divided by L, where L minimum is the minimum average code word length and L minimum is the average code word length. So that can be defined. But how can we calculate this L minimum? How can obtain this L minimum to approach? So source coder, it should be efficient, then efficiency must be approached to unity. So to produce the source encoder very efficient manner, we require this efficiency of the source encoder, that eta equal to 1. So that is very important, this. But how to obtain L minimum? So that can be explained by the Claude-Shannon, Innes theorem, information theory, source coding theorem. So Shannon's first source coding theorem, that is also called as noiseless source coding theorem. A given discrete memoryless source of entropy H, that is average information, that is called as entropy. The average code word length for any source encoding is bounded by, so this is an relation given by the Shannon first theorem for the source coding. L is greater than or equal to H, means average code word length is greater than or equal to entropy, average information. So that by using this equation we can find out the L minimum. So first theorem states that the average code word length, that is capital L, should be always greater than or equal to the source entropy, that is H. It means the value of L minimum, means minimum average code word length, is equal to the entropy, average information. So substituting this value, this equation, source efficiency, so we can get the code efficiency. So eta is equal to H by L. So this is a very important formula to calculate the efficiency of a source encoder. So variable length coding is done in order to increase the efficiency of the source encoder. Now we can going two algorithms in such way the length coding technique is represented in efficient manner. First one is a Shannon-Fano coding algorithm, that is first one, and second one is Huffman coding. These two algorithms states that how the source encoder can be efficiently generate a source symbol in binary forms. So what are the steps or how the Shannon-Fano coding algorithm is done? List of the source symbol or message in order of decreasing probability. Then second step, partition the set of symbol into two sets that are also closed, being equiprobable as possible. Assign 0 to each message in upper set and 1 to each message in the lower set. Fourth step, continue this process each time partition the set with as nearly equal probabilities as possible until the further the partition is not possible, then will be stopped. So these steps are very important. We can get this Shannon-Fano coding algorithm in better understand by taking one example in next video. So we can, in this lecture, we have introduced the concept of Shannon-Fano first coding algorithm, Shannon first source coding algorithm, and the two terms which is very important, that is average code word length and coding efficiency, how these are to relate to each other. So we can stop here. Thank you.